Yo, we have a wild one today. So there was a TikTok influencer who had a manager, and the manager's now ex-wife is suing her because basically the influencer stole her husband. So this is wild, and I'm gonna articulate why I believe it's wild, but let's just go ahead and dive right into the story.
A modern day Montague feud gone viral.
And it was nothing but lies.
North Carolina TikToker Brene Kennard ordered to pay $1.75 million after a jury found her liable for having an affair with her manager, Tim Montague, characterized under North Carolina law as criminal conversation and alienation of affection. Montague's ex-wife, Akira, suing Kennard for her deliberate interference in the marriage, including wrongful and malicious acts.
What's up, y'all?
Saying in a court filing, Kennard engaged in behavior designed to seduce him, like wearing very short skirts and twirling her hair in a flirtatious manner. The plaintiff's attorneys presented evidence, including sexual videos and
Did y'all hear all the facts that they're basically saying was malicious that this single woman is responsible for as far as why that grown man decided to, for whatever reason, leave his wife or whatever the case. And they're calling these criminal acts, swirling her hair and wearing short shorts around another woman's husband. These are criminal acts that ultimately contributed to her having to pay almost $2 million. I'm curious what y'all are thinking. What's marinating? Let's hear it again, just so we make sure we're clear.
acts.
What's up, y'all?
Saying in a court filing, Kennard engaged in behavior designed to seduce him, like wearing very short skirts and twirling her hair in a flirtatious manner. The plaintiff's attorneys presented evidence, including sexual videos and texts, a video of Kennard dancing in the couple's home, and another video of her saying she cannot wait to be Mrs. Montague. They argued the TikToker, who had millions of followers, flaunted their relationship on social media.
Hi, guys.
That says that my client was telling the truth.
Akira Montague saying as a result of Kennard's actions, she has suffered humiliation, mental and emotional anguish, and injury to her health, adding their actions deprived their two young children of a two-parent household.
She has received justice from losing her husband and the father of her children.
But Kennard argues she had Montague's consent.
She gave her consent. She said it was okay because she knew her marriage was over with and it was done.
Kennard now calling herself Mrs.
Should that even matter, though? Should that even matter whether she gave her consent or not? And by the way, what I'm saying is he gave his consent. So he made his decision. So I don't know how you can retroactively now, I guess because you're upset that, your husband left you or whatever, and y'all had kids. I'm not saying his behavior is acceptable, but I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. Women leave their families all the time. And the guy can't then go back and sue the pool boy talking about you came around my house in your short shorts and with your six pack out. So now I want to sue both of y'all because you stole my wife. She can leave because she just wasn't happy. When we talk about relationships, it can get very complex, very complicated. There could be all type of things going on. And I don't think a happy man is just going to leave his wife. So, I guess he wasn't happy, just like a lot of other people say that they're not happy, even though they have responsibilities, they have kids, et cetera, et cetera. But they just say they're not happy and they shouldn't have to stay in an unhappy marriage. So even if he was more happy with with the other woman or whatever, ultimately what I'm saying is I don't think that this type of consequence or even this type of interference from the courts and from outside forces should be able to hold you accountable. And if we really just bring this full picture, she has no obligation to his ex-wife. She's a single person. So it's one thing if you want to sue your husband, right? The person who ultimately made the decision to leave the marriage. But I don't feel like a single person owes you anything to where you can then go back and get compensated from them because you feel like they slighted you. Regardless, I don't agree with trying to steal somebody's significant other. I think that's a dangerous game. But when we're talking about this is a criminal thing now, and this is a civil thing where you can take millions of dollars from people, I don't like where that's going. Because if we open that door, man, the floodgates are going to be open, and it's going to be wild, wild west out here, and you're just going to be able to successfully sue people for anything, right? So whatever state, I think they said this is in North Carolina, man. I don't want to go nowhere near North Carolina if they can railroad you like this.
Montague saying the couple are married, though NBC News couldn't find any legal documentation supporting that claim. She tells NBC News in a statement, the verdict wasn't fair at all. I fought the lies for 8 days, and the jury sought sympathy, not facts, adding it's not over until God says it's over. Tim Montague adding about the TikToker, my wife.
That's exactly what it was. So it was a jury. Okay. So yeah. So now they probably did seek sympathy, and it probably wasn't objective because that ain't right. That ain't fair. Now keep in mind, this is a woman going through this because it was a woman who was apparently the victim, right? But I don't think a jury, if a man was on the stand trying to sue, you know, somebody, I don't think that they will vote in favor of him. I really don't.
Had no fair shot, especially when defending herself against an entire team of attorneys. As for that $1.75 million payday,
I don't know, but she'll probably never see it.
All right, Maggie joins us now. Maggie, sorry, we were sort of glued to the monitors there. This one's a strange one.
Fair.
Let's back up. You mentioned this is a North Carolina law, but there are other states where people can sue over infidelity?
Yeah, Tom, that's actually true. And for people sitting at home thinking, hold on, you can be sued for having an affair, the answer is yes, indeed. This is a thing. In fact, in a handful of states, including Utah, New Mexico, and Mississippi. And North Carolina, for its part, has actually seen multiple cases, including back in 2021. There was one involving a state senator that was settled out of court. And then back in 2011, a kind of infamous payday, there was one of these cases where a woman was ordered to pay $30 million for wrecking a marriage.
30 million. Wow.
30
okay.
million.
Maggie Vespa, we thank you for bringing us that story. We thank you for watching. And remember, stay up.
For wrecking a marriage, we're calling that wrecking a marriage. I don't think that, I think if your marriage can be wrecked in the first place, then it's probably not on a solid foundation to begin with, right? I don't think you can really wreck a happy marriage, in my opinion, right? So, but I don't even want to get lost in these unnecessary details because the ultimate point is that having this type of leverage into people's personal relationships, and I'm speaking as far as the government, because I didn't even know it could go this extreme. We all know what can happen in divorces, right? As far as the government's influences at that point, especially if there's children involved. But now when we're talking about at a civil level and a criminal level, like how they just outlined in this, that the government can reach that far. I mean, what's next for them to pass something where you can get sued for all type of just anything miscellaneous, right? Now, if I just don't know. I don't think that they should be able to stretch that far to be able to hold. Not only they didn't even hold, in my opinion, the main culprit accountable, which is the husband. They held the single person accountable for what he decided to do, and then they were able to actually, because most likely she was able to subpoena his phone and get access to see all those, like you said, explicit videos and the text messages. Because if you didn't know, they can subpoena your communications after the fact, especially when you're dealing in divorce proceedings and apparently in these type of proceedings. And they were ultimately able to sue this single woman. I just don't think that's fair. I just don't think that's right that you can do that. I don't think that is, listen, that's a normal part of life. But now you can be upset after the fact, like my husband left me. So I'm about to get retribution on the person that he left me with, I mean, I think you just have to take that as a part of your life story, and you just have to take whatever lessons you can extract from it moving forward, and ultimately just move forward. But she actually was able to thrive from it. And I think that other woman's problem, the person who owed the money, I think she'll probably appeal that. And I could imagine she will probably be successful in appealing that. But apparently, this has happened before successfully, like you mentioned, where somebody got sued for $30 million. So maybe she can't. Maybe it's deadlocked to where that it's just what's going to happen is going to happen. And again, when we talk about the intricacies of exactly what happened, I don't necessarily agree that you should. Obviously she knew he was married. I don't agree with that. But I also don't think that you should be able to hit my pockets for $2 million over relational things. Relational things that happen. I mean, that's just a part of life. You can get broke up with, you know? Next, they're going to say if you were with your wife or with your husband when y'all were broke, but all of a sudden, if they blow up and then they leave you, now you can sue for that. Ain't that something? Imagine if Kevin Hart's wife could come back and sue him because she was with him when they weren't broke and now he's with somebody else, right? When you start to delve into that territory, you have to ask, where is it going to end? Where are we going to draw a line in the sand? Because now it's kind of ambiguous, where it should just be standard, divorce proceedings, you. But see, she didn't go after her husband because he don't got nothing. She went after the TikToker because she had something, and that's another layer that I feel like makes it not fair. But we'll leave it there. Like the video, also subscribe if you want to join the Legion. Cash App's link below if you want to tip the channel. Buy your boy iced coffee. And also feel free to join the Patreon where I post self-improvement content. Till then, I'll catch you in the next video.